Well, Paulmi, let's start with the first thing. The first thing that you see right behind me, the area which has been cornered off. This is where the demolition will take place, and this is the most, I would say, the area which will be impacted the most. Which is why you are seeing that no one is being allowed to move beyond the barricading which has been put here. Because once the towers come down, this is the area which will be the most vulnerable. The policemen, the Noida police personnel have already been seated there. They will be there till about 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then they will also evacuate the building. The second thing which is being done, Paulmi, is the sheets that you see. Now, this is Esther Tower inside Emerald Court, the tower which is barely 20 meters away from the Twin Towers, and all the residents have made sure that their balconies are fully covered because they are really fearing for their property, for their homes. Now, one other thing which the residents have done is to cover their own balconies. The black sheet that you see, the green sheet that you see, in fact, we'll just show you some close pictures of the way through which the windows have been sealed. The windows here have been sealed, and because the residents, the ACs have been covered. AC is one of the things that the residents feel could be damaged, which is why we are seeing all the protective layers being done. Just to look around and you will see that barely 3 or 4 cars are left. Most of the people have already started moving out. The deadline of evacuating this tower is 7 a.m. tomorrow. Residents say that everything is now Ram Bharose. They are crossing their fingers. They are, however, hopeful that the kind of assurances they have been given, all those assurances will be 100% true, and they are hoping to be back tomorrow by 4 or 5 p.m. and they hope that this building will be standing with minimum damage to the cars and to the property, and they will be able to have the dinner tomorrow in their respective homes. Paulmi.
Okay, so while they of course hope that this is going to be a safe exercise and there will be little and minimum damage, as you say, to their property as the demolition takes place, they must also feel a sense of relief as well, because these are the very same residents who in fact fought this legal battle against Supertech as well. Aishwarya.
Yes, definitely. These are the, this is a very long battle, and most of the people, the ones who actually started it, that person is the president of the RWA. He's almost 80 years old, and he told India Today that when he started the fight, his family members had warned him not to fight against such a big developer, but he did not give up, which is why we will see these towers. Let me tell you, Paulmi, one of the most interesting things about the tower is that these towers are taller than the Qutub Minar. The Qutub Minar stands at 73 meters. These towers are 100 meters tall. In fact, I'll also ask Darvi to show you the kind of preparations which are taking place. On one side are the white sheets, which you can see. We have the ACs which are being covered. The common area, in fact, has also been covered now with the black sheets because residents don't want to take any chance. A few of them are really scared. What if something happens? What if, there are cracks in the building? Which is why we are also seeing that the basement of this particular tower is also being repaired. Now, we'll just show you the black sheets. This area also has been cornered off. The clubhouse, in fact, has been completely covered. All these things are being done from the residents' point of view because they don't want any untoward incident to take place. Now, everyone, the countdown has actually begun. In less than 24 hours, the towers will come crashing down in just 10 seconds. The residents are hoping that they will be able to come back home around 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe have their tea. If not tea, then definitely they are looking forward to have dinner in their homes without the tower.
Okay. Aishwarya, thank you so much for bringing us that live report from outside the Supertech Twin Towers. We're cutting across live to a press conference that is being addressed by Delhi Minister Manish Sisodia.
फर्जी जांच करके इस तरह के फर्जी आरोप प्रत्यारोप लगा के ये सरकारी स्कूल ना बनने दें और सरकारी स्कूलों को बंद करने का जो इनका मिशन चल रहा है उसको आगे बढ़ाते रहें। लेकिन दिल्ली ने एक कॉन्फिडेंस दिया है पूरे देश को, पूरी दुनिया को, कि सरकारी स्कूल शानदार बन सकते हैं, शानदार चल सकते हैं, बच्चों का अच्छा भविष्य बना सकते हैं। अब जो इनकी ये नई नौटंकी शुरू हुई है कि सरकारी स्कूल में भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है, ये मुख्यतः मुझे डर है कि ये सरकारी स्कूल दिल्ली के भी बंद करवाना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि इनको इस बात से डर लग रहा है कि अगर देश को ये बात समझ में आ गई कि सरकारी स्कूल चल सकते हैं, तो इनका ये जो मॉडल है कि सरकारी स्कूल बंद करो और प्राइवेट स्कूल खुलवाओ, ये इस पे क्वेश्चन उठने लगेंगे। इसलिए जानबूझ के चाहते हैं कि अब दिल्ली के सरकारी स्कूल बंद हो जाएं। जब से 2014 से ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार में है केंद्र की, और ये मैं बहुत ऑथेंटिक डेटा आपके सामने रख रहा हूं, यूडाइस इन्हीं की वेबसाइट है। जिसपे एजुकेशन का स्कूलों का डेटा रखते हैं, उसको उठा के देख लीजिए। 2015 से 2021 तक इन्होंने 72,000 से ज्यादा स्कूल, सरकारी स्कूल बंद करवाए हैं। पूरे देश में जब से ये लोग सत्ता में आए हैं, प्रिसाइजली मैं कहूं 72,747 सरकारी स्कूल इनके राज्य में बंद कराए गए हैं। ये चाहते हैं कि पूरा का पूरा देश प्राइवेट स्कूलों पर डिपेंड हो जाए, और प्राइवेट स्कूल जिसको केवल और केवल 20% बच्चे अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, 80% बच्चे एकदम बर्बाद हो जाएं। प्रिसाइजली ये सारा मीडिया रिपोर्ट से ही, मैं अपने पास से नहीं कह रहा। आप लोगों ने, मीडिया ने खूब दिखाया है इनकी वेबसाइट्स को, इनकी वेबसाइट से निकले हुए डेटा को। केवल सितंबर 2018 से सितंबर 2019 के बीच एक साल में इन्होंने पूरे मिशन मोड में काम करते हुए 51,000 स्कूल बंद किए हैं। 51,000 तो एक साल में बंद किए हैं। पूरे दौर में इन्होंने 72,747 स्कूल बंद किए हैं। इनमें से 26,000 स्कूल तो यूपी में बंद हुए हैं, 22,000 स्कूल मध्य प्रदेश में बंद हुए हैं, 1100 स्कूल इन्होंने उत्तराखंड में बंद किए हैं। और प्राइवेट स्कूल कितने खुले? प्राइवेट स्कूल बंद नहीं हो रहे। जहां जहां ये सरकारी स्कूल बंद कर रहे हैं, वहां वहां प्राइवेट स्कूल खुल रहे हैं। और वो प्राइवेट स्कूल इन्हीं के नेताओं के, यही लोग प्राइवेट स्कूल खुलवा रहे हैं वहां पे। 11,739, ये भी यही रिपोर्ट कह रही है यूडाइस की, जिसको सारे अखबारों ने भी छापा हुआ है। 11,739, करीब 12,000 प्राइवेट स्कूल खुले हैं और 72,000 स्कूल बंद हुए हैं। ये इनका स्कूल मॉडल है। मैं आज आपके सामने कहना चाहता हूं कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के शिक्षा मंत्री के रूप में बहुत गर्व से काम करता हूं, और मुझे बहुत गर्व है इस बात पे कि दिल्ली में 2015 से पहले के स्कूल नहीं होते थे, टेंट के स्कूल होते थे, चिड़ियाघर बोलते थे उनको, तीन टप्पर वाले स्कूल होते थे, खड्डे वाला स्कूल बोलते थे। 2015 के बाद से हमने 700 नई स्कूल बिल्डिंग बनवाई है। 700 2015 के बाद से हमने जो 700 नई स्कूल बिल्डिंग बनवाई है, वो प्राइवेट स्कूलों से भी बेहतर स्कूल बिल्डिंग बनवाई है। बहुत गर्व है हमें इस बात पे। पहले जो इनका सरकारी स्कूल बनाने का मॉडल था, वो लगा हुआ प्लास्टर लगा दो, उसके ऊपर कोई पीली सी कोई खड़िया उससे कलई लगा दो, रोता हुआ स्कूल बनाओ, देखते ही लगे कि सरकारी स्कूल। हमने दिल्ली में कहा कि देखते ही लगना चाहिए कि शानदार सरकारी स्कूल है। इस बात पे हमें बहुत गर्व है। हमें इस बात पे गर्व है कि हमने जो स्कूल बनवाए वो बड़े बड़े प्राइवेट स्कूलों को टक्कर दे रहे हैं। हमने वो तीन टप्पर वाले कमरे नहीं बनवाए, हमने वो प्लास्टर वाले कमरे नहीं बनवाए जिनसे प्लास्टर लटकता रहता है। हमने ऐसे कमरे बनवाए कि जहां आज दिल्ली का कोई भी गरीब से गरीब आदमी का बच्चा, अमीर से अमीर आदमी का बच्चा भी पढ़ने जाए तो उसको गर्व हो सके कि मैं एक अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ रहा हूं, अच्छे दिखने वाले, अच्छे वातावरण वाले स्कूल में पढ़ रहा हूं। शानदार डेस्क पे बिठाते हैं हम अपने बच्चों को, आपने भी देखे हैं जा जाके। इनको इसी में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, बोले जी भ्रष्टाचार हो गया, बहुत महंगा हो गया, खर्चा कर दिया इन्होंने। खर्चा किया है, ये देश के बच्चे हैं, ये हमारे बच्चे हैं, सरकार के बच्चे हैं। सरकार की जिम्मेदारी है कि अपने बच्चों की पढ़ाई पर खर्च करे। आपकी तरह से नहीं है कि अपनी जिम्मेदारी से भागो, सरकारी स्कूल बंद कराओ और प्राइवेट स्कूल खोलने का मिशन बोर्ड चला के रखो। जब सरकारी स्कूल खुलेंगे और सरकारी स्कूल प्राइवेट स्कूलों से बेहतर दिखेंगे, वहां पे पढ़ाई अच्छी होगी, तभी देश आगे बढ़ेगा। नहीं तो ये 10%, 20% बच्चों को केवल प्राइवेट स्कूलों के सहारे छोड़ के और सरकारी स्कूल बंद करने का जो इनका मॉडल है, इससे देश बर्बाद हो जाएगा। और ये वाकई देश को बर्बाद करके रखना चाहते हैं। सीबीआई और ईडी तो इनके बहाने हैं। फिर से नए सिरे से फिर से सर्च करा लो। एक रेड अभी हफ्ते भर 10 दिन पहले कराई है, एक और रेड करा लो। इस बीच में 10 दिन में हो सकता है 4 और स्कूलों की बच्चों की कॉपियां मिल जाएंगी, मेरे घर पे किताबें मिल जाएंगी, यही ऐड हुआ होगा। लेकिन करा लो, आपकी मर्जी है। मैं पिछली उससे नहीं डरा आपकी, अभी क्या डरूंगा। लेकिन नई सीबीआई रेड कराने से पहले जरा ये भी बताएं ये लोग कि जब आप कहते थे पार्टी में चंदा गड़बड़ है 6-7 साल पहले, उस पर भी बड़ी रेड कराई थी, उस पर भी बड़े थाने में चलवाए थे, उसका बताओ, उसका क्या हुआ। आपने सीएम के ऑफिस में रेड कराई थी, बोले बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार है यहां पे, उसका बताओ, उसका क्या हुआ। उसमें कुछ निकला? नहीं निकला। कुछ कर पाए उसमें? नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि फर्जी था। मेरे घर पे 4 साल पहले सीबीआई रेड कराई, बोले जी फेसबुक को विज्ञापन दे दिया बिना टेंडर के। अरे फेसबुक तो एक ही कंपनी है, उसको ही जाएगा। बोले जी यही गड़बड़ है। उसके बाद सीबीआई रेड कराई, क्या निकला? कुछ नहीं निकला। लिख के देना पड़ा जी कुछ नहीं है, इसमें कुछ नहीं निकला। 40 एमएलए के खिलाफ कराया, उसमें क्या निकला बताओ देश को। ये हर वक्त सीबीआई 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 ईडी रटते रहते हैं ना। थोड़ा स्कूल भी रट लो, ज्ञान हो जाएगा, थोड़ा सा शांत हो जाएगा मन। स्कूल की बात सोचोगे तो, बच्चों के बीच में रहोगे तो थोड़ा और दिमाग शांत हो जाएगा। मैं तो जाता हूं, बच्चों के बीच में जाता हूं, अच्छा लगता है। 24 घंटे सीबीआई ईडी, इनको यही करना आता है। किसी के यहाँ सीबीआई की रेड डालनी आती है, किसी के यहाँ ईडी की रेड डालनी आती है, और स्कूल बंद कराने आते हैं। हमको स्कूल बनवाने आते हैं, हमको स्कूल चलाने आते हैं, हमको स्कूल खुलवाने आते हैं। हम वो करते रहेंगे, आपको जो आता है वो कर लो। मैं अभी भी एक नजफगढ़ से आ रहा हूं। नजफगढ़ में एक बहुत शानदार सरकारी स्कूल जो देश में अपने आप में यूनिक है। पूरे देश में आपको ऐसा स्कूल देखने को नहीं मिलेगा जहां बच्चे यूनिफॉर्म पहन के एनडीए में जाने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और अपनी 9वीं 10वीं 11वीं की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। मैं चाहूंगा किसी दिन आप भी जाइएगा वहां पे, बड़ा अच्छा वातावरण है। हमको वो आता है, हम वो कर रहे हैं। इनको स्कूल बंद करवाने आते हैं, वो कर रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
पुराना मामला है कि पहले कभी जांच हो चुकी है, इस मामले को आप किस तरह से सीबीसी का ये जो मामला?
इन्हीं की कंप्लेंट है, इन्हीं के किसी नेता ने कंप्लेंट कर रखी है, इन्हीं के जांच अधिकारी हैं। अब कर ले जांच, कोई मामला नहीं है। शानदार स्कूल बनवाए। अब ये कह रहे हैं शानदार क्यों बनवाए, रोते हुए बनवाने चाहिए थे।
Now, in more trouble for Aam Aadmi Party after the liquor scam, Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has recommended a detailed investigation into the construction of classrooms in government schools. Here's a report.
Under attack for the Liquorgate scam, another firestorm has hit Arvind Kejriwal and his deputy Manish Sisodia. And this time it is the Aam Aadmi Party's much touted Delhi education model that is under the scanner. Delhi LG VK Saxena has sought a report from the Chief Secretary over the delay of 2.5 years in acting on the CVC inquiry report related to construction of classrooms in Delhi government schools. The CVC, which reported gross irregularities in various projects related to Delhi government schools, received the complaint on 25th July 2019. It then submitted its report to the Delhi government on 17 February 2020 for appropriate action. But nothing happened. The report said that there was a cost overrun of nearly 90% of the construction of classrooms in Delhi government schools. The CVC report also said that no tenders were issued for the construction process and that 500 crores were sanctioned. It also red flags CPWD work manual violations and says that the construction quality was poor and incomplete.
हर चौराहे पे, हर अखबार की कटिंग के साथ अगर बहस हो रही है तो ये बहस हो रही है कि जो व्यक्ति स्वराज की बात किया था अब वो अपराध राज में चल रहा है।
The Vigilance Department report has some more damning findings. It says toilets were counted as classrooms, and even then only 124 toilets were constructed instead of 164. And while the requirement was of 6,133 classrooms, only 4,027 were built. The cost for the same went up from 989 crore rupees to 1,315 crores. And no fresh tenders were issued for any of these constructions. Soon after the LG sought a reply on the vigilance report, the Delhi Chief Minister and the Education Minister brazened it out.
इस देश में एक ही शिक्षा मंत्री है और अब तो ऐसे लगता है जैसे पूरी दुनिया में एक ही शिक्षा मंत्री। अगर अमेरिका वालों से पूछो कौन शिक्षा मंत्री तो वो भी कह रहे हैं भाई मनीष सिसोदिया। तो ये हर भारतीय के लिए गौरव की बात थी, बहुत गर्व की बात थी, सब लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगा।
बात मेरा फोटो छपने की नहीं थी, बात एजुकेशन की नहीं थी, बात ये थी कि भारत की अच्छी खबर छपती है तो हर भारतीय को गर्व होता है। मुझे भी एक भारतीय होने के नाते सुबह सुबह गर्व हुआ।
Arvind Kejriwal and his party pride themselves on their turnaround of the state of Delhi government schools. With these old allegations over classroom construction being raked up again, the Delhi political dangle is only set to escalate. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Delhi BJP unit has stepped up its attack against the Aam Aadmi Party government over the contentious Delhi liquor policy. Under the leadership of Delhi BJP President Shri Adesh Gupta, BJP workers held placards and went on a padayatra chanting "Gali Gali Mein Chor Hai" chants, staging a protest near the Delhi Vidhan Sabha. BJP is alleging that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal wasted its special one-day session by indulging in theatrics. Meanwhile, Kejriwal has defended Sisodia, saying the CBI could not find any unaccounted penny during its 14-hour raid at his residence. The CBI has registered an FIR in connection with alleged irregularities in the excise policy, naming Manish Sisodia as an accused.
हमने जिन सवालों को उठाया है वो सारे तथ्यों पर आधारित है। जब इन्होंने नई शराब की नीति बनाई तो इन्होंने कहा कि हम शराब के इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए बात कर रहे हैं। मैं केजरीवाल सरकार से पूछना चाहता हूं, आप पानी के इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए नीति नहीं लाए? आप दिल्ली के अंदर बारिशों में पानी भरता है उसके लिए पॉलिसी नहीं ला पाए? दिल्ली के अंदर प्रदूषण से राहत के लिए पॉलिसी नहीं बना पाए? दिल्ली के अंदर सीवर सिस्टम मजबूत हो इसके लिए पॉलिसी नहीं बना पाए? लेकिन वहीं जो आम आदमी पार्टी सरकार जो तिरंगा हाथ में पकड़कर महात्मा गांधी की तस्वीर पकड़ते थे, वो आज जाकर शराब की नीति लाए थे। और वो शराब की नीति जिसमें हजारों करोड़ का भ्रष्टाचार किया है, दलाली की है, इनके नेताओं ने और दिल्ली के राजस्व की चोरी की है।
The murder mystery of Sonali Phogat continues to unravel. The accused has been sent to 10 days police custody. Earlier, Goa police arrested Curly's club owner for questioning and he is currently being grilled by the cops. The police also recovered drugs from the bathroom of the club. The man who brought the drugs was also nabbed by the cops, taking the count of total arrests in the case to 4. Police sources have told India Today that the statement of more than 25 people has been recorded in the case. On Friday, the suspects, Sudhir and Sukhwinder, had admitted to drugging Sonali Phogat and confessed that they mixed 1.5 grams of MDMA in Sonali's drinks. A video of Sonali in a visibly intoxicated state also emerged on Friday. Sonali was then taken to a toilet by the accused where she remained for the next 2 hours. Goa police revealed that Phogat was forcefully made to drink the spiked concoction. Meanwhile, Phogat's family, which has been crying foul from day one, has demanded capital punishment for the accused.
जब दिशा में हमारे को कुछ मिलेगा वो भी नहीं जारी, फिर हम सीबीआई इंक्वायरी की वो करेंगे मांग और नार्को टेस्ट होना चाहिए, फांसी की सजा होनी चाहिए। ये तो जरूर से कह रहे हैं भी इसको फांसी देनी चाहिए। जिस हिसाब से उसने जानवरों से बदतर यानी कि वो तो फुटेज मारा है, जैसे उसकी मृत्यु की गई है ऐसे तो किसी कोई जानवर को नहीं मारता।
एक दो बार बात हुई तो सिस्टर ने माँ से बात करी थी, उस दिन पहले भी 22 तारीख को बात करी थी, उससे पहले भी एक दो बार उनको लगता था भी खाने में कुछ है गड़बड़। खाना खाने के बाद उनको ऐसी प्रॉब्लम होती थी, फील होता, सुन्नापन आता था, लेकिन अभी इस चीज़ का तो ध्यान नहीं था ना। भी हमने सोचा अभी थकान होगी या सारा दिन जब दिल्ली चंडीगढ़ जाना होता है थक गए होंगे, लेकिन इस तरफ कभी ध्यान नहीं गया। पोस्टमार्टम में रिपोर्ट आने के बाद में उन 2 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया, 2 और लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। अभी ठीक है, हम सोच रहे हैं अभी ठीक हो रहा है, आगे और अच्छे से इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए। और भी
सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको बताऊं कि आज तक पर जो आपने एक्सक्लूसिवली सीसीटीवी फुटेज देखी थी उसमें शायद आपने देखा था कि 2 शख्स हैं, जिसमें एक महिला है वो सोनाली फोगाट थी और उनके साथ एक और शख्स हैं जो उनको पकड़कर लेके जा रहे हैं। ये वही कर्ली रेस्टोरेंट है और ये वही जगह है जहां पर उस दिन पार्टी हो रही थी। मैं अपने कैमरा पर्सन से कहूंगा वो थोड़ा आगे आए, यहां पर एक स्टूल है, अगर वो उसमें चढ़ सकें तो इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा ऊपर दिखाए कि आखिर पार्टी कहां हो रही थी। राजू जी थोड़ा आप यहां पर आए। इसके ऊपर स्टूल पर चढ़ें और दिखाने की कोशिश करें कि आखिर वो सीन क्या है जहां पर पार्टी हो रही थी। तो ये जो आप दिख रहे हैं, ये इलाका जो आप देख रहे हैं, ये वही इलाका है जहां पर उस रात पार्टी हो रही थी। अब पुलिस का दावा है कि उसके पास इस इलाके की पूरी सीसीटीवी फुटेज है। यहां पर कौन कौन लोग मौजूद थे, अब कौन कौन लोग मौजूद थे ये महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए हो जाता है क्योंकि इसमें कई लोग आई विटनेसेस भी बन चुके हैं जिनके बयान गोवा की पुलिस ने ले लिए हैं। अब आगे की कहानी हम आपको बताते हैं। सीसीटीवी फुटेज में आप देख रहे हैं साफ तौर पर कि किस तरीके से सोनाली फोगाट जो हैं वो अपने पीए के साथ आगे आ रही हैं। उनका खुद पर बिल्कुल भी काबू नहीं है और वो धीरे धीरे यहां से मानो लड़खड़ाते हुए आगे जा रही हैं।
Sonali Phogat was a well-known TV star in Haryana. She was a TV reality show contestant. She joined the Bharatiya Janata Party and fought an election as well. Her husband, incidentally, also died under very mysterious circumstances, and the police are now likely to widen the scope of their investigations. Their daughter now wants an investigation to reveal the truth behind the death first of her father and now her mother. Arvind Ojha brings us this report.
The one and only OG ਕਾਟ ਦੇ ਵੈ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਖਰੇ ਜਨਾਬ ਫਿਟਿੰਗ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੁੱਟਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੂੰ ਪਾਣਾ ਛੋੜ ਦੇ ਐਟੀਟਿਊਡ ਬਿਊਟੀ ਮੈਂ ਲਗਾਵੇ ਚਾਰ ਚਾਂਦ ਭੂਰ ਕੇ ਨੂੰ ਛੋਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਲਖਣਾ ਛੋੜ ਦੇ
A celeb in Haryana.
OG ਕਾਟ ਦੇ ਵੈ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਖਰੇ ਜਨਾਬ ਫਿਟਿੰਗ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੁੱਟਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੂੰ ਪਾਣਾ ਛੋੜ ਦੇ
आप बीच में ना बोलें तो अच्छा रहेगा। और आप ना बोले बहुत।
A big boss contestant.
मैंने तोड़ा। क्यों तोड़ा आपने? मेरे को बोलेंगे आप? Sonali Phogat is beat.
And a BJP leader. Sonali Phogat was a go-getter from an early age. She always aspired to be an actress. Got her first break as an anchor for a program on Doordarshan. While working for Doordarshan, Phogat joined the BJP in 2008. This opened many avenues for the actor. Phogat went on to work with big names of regional cinema, including Ravi Kishan and Jimmy Shergill. She also got a chance to feature in the 14th edition of Big Boss.
आपकी बच्ची को बीच में नहीं घसीटा, बल्कि आपने किसी की बच्ची, वो है रुबीना, उसको आपने कहा। आपने ये शो देखा है, आपको पता है कि इस घर के अंदर क्या क्या टास्क होते हैं, किस हद तक लोग जाते हैं।
सलमान जी, मैं यहाँ ये नहीं करने आई हूँ जो मुझे गालियाँ दे, मैं उसके आगे काम करती घूमूंगी।
Sonali featured in a number of music videos and had a sizable following on TikTok. Sonali married Sanjay Phogat, who too was a politician. The two had a daughter. But the marriage ended on a tragic note. After just a few years, her husband died under mysterious circumstances in 2016. Sonali then focused her efforts on work. In 2019, seeing her growing popularity, the BJP gave her a chance to prove her mettle. Sonali Phogat was given the ticket from Hisar's Adampur seat against then Congress leader Kuldeep Bishnoi. Sonali, however, lost the election by a big margin. Controversial in life, her death too is not devoid of controversy. Her family suspects foul play in her sudden death in Goa. Her daughter, now a 15-year-old, is demanding justice for her mother.
मेरे को जस्टिस मिलना चाहिए, इन्वेस्टिगेशन होनी चाहिए प्रॉपर, और जो कल्प्रिट है उन्हें पनिशमेंट मिलनी चाहिए.
The death of Sonali Phogat has opened a Pandora's box, leaving many questions unanswered. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that's a wrap on this bulletin. For all the latest news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. Thanks for watching.
You are watching India Today.
I'm the early bird who gets the news. The fresh morning air is my energizer. With me around, there are no dwindled dawns. Only bright, action-packed mornings. Rise and shine with me every single day, and you'll never hit that snooze button.
Good morning, India. Why wake up any other way when you can witness magic every single day? Watch First Up with me, Akshita Nandagopal, right here on India Today TV.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Marksman Daily presents Brand of the Year 2022. Brought to you by Team Marksman, an event recently organized in Mumbai. Place the spotlight on today's living, breathing entities that consumers place a strong trust in. Brands. We bring you episode 2 of the event, which served as an exciting blend of inspirational addresses, enriching panel discussions, and coveted awards. The proceedings kicked off with a keynote address by Virat Kohli, founder, Genesis Film Productions.
We have the legendary presence of Shri Virat Kohli. Firstly, can we have a round of applause to welcome him?
How do you manage a junior in your company where you are the manager? How do you manage him when he actually knows more technology than you do? And the differentiator today is technology. So the system changes from management systems to mentoring systems. All the millennials have an attention span of about 4 seconds. If you do not engage them in the first 4 seconds, and then top it with another 4 seconds of even better engagement, and then top it with another 4 seconds of better engagement, you've lost them because you have lots of options. So how do you keep them engaged? The only way you can keep them engaged is actually to tell them good stories. Luckily, because that is the only thing that we actually know how to get our teeth into, is a good story. But we've been ignoring it all this while because we think that technology is going to substitute content. And it doesn't. Technology just helps you deliver the content. So if a mentee comes up with an idea which does not have a mentor, which is a my-bap, it never sees the light of day. It lies in the dustbin. So I believe that the best ideas in any company are in the dustbin. So if you go back to the dustbin, look through them, you'll find ideas which you've missed opportunities for. How many companies have missed those opportunities? Because they couldn't see the difference between tomorrow and today. We've changed in the last 10 years as a country, as a world, more than we have in the last 100 years. And in the next 5 years, we're going to change more than we did forever. Technology allows you to consume stories. Technology allows you to assimilate and do multitasking at the same time. Technology changes the manner in which you tell your story. There is a place for good content. So, technology, storytelling, decision-making. Not managing, mentoring young people, grooming them to take responsibility, protecting the great ideas which have legs, making it see the light of day, and then being relevant by going viral.
And also joining Neha on stage, I'm going to invite Akash Tiwari to please join Neha Dhupia on the stage as well. We have with us Akash Tiwari, the co-founder, Chief Strategy Officer, Team Marksman. And on that note, it's finally the time to get the felicitation started. We'll bring in that energy and let's hear it for the very first brand for the evening that's being felicitated here as Brand of the Year 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Linen Club.
Anyone who's arrived in life has arrived completely when he starts living the linen life. Because linen is not just for the others to see, but it's for you to experience and feel.
Mr. Ghosh, congratulations for winning the Brand of the Year award. Could you please share your thoughts on what makes Linen Club an iconic brand?
Linen Club is an iconic brand because of its heritage, because of its authenticity, and because of the product range that bring on the table. We are completely committed to sustainability and are a one-stop shop for linen from fabric to apparels. We also have cutting-edge innovations in linen which no other brand can bring to the table. That's why Linen Club is an iconic brand. Our heritage and authenticity comes from the 70 years of production that we are doing for fabrics and apparel. We've been producing linen in India since 1949. Linen Club is a one-stop shop for linen because we are present in 200 of our EBOs like this Linen Club and at 7,000 plus stores. The Linen Club, we produce almost 3,000 plus designs which we display in 200 plus EBOs and 7,000 plus MBOs. We also have another brand called Cavallo, which is a premium blend brand where we try to blend linen with other sustainable material, and hence Linen Club and Cavallo make it a great range of linen that is available for the consumers in India. The consumers love linen for the crush that it produces, but there are younger consumers who would like linen to be uncrushable. Hence we launched a brand called Uncrushable under Linen Club, which is 100% wrinkle resistance range. Now we've also launched another range called Smart Care, in which no stains stay for long. Everything gets washed away with water.
Linen is synonymous with style. Literally, it's a royal fabric. And pure linen has got fantastic properties in terms of moisture absorption, biodegradable, antibacterial, antifungal. There is no other fabric in the world which can compete on these qualities with linen.
Now are about to have an instant round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because they are the third largest manufacturer of instant coffee in the world. We're talking about Continental Coffee.
Continental Coffee, we started as a B2B company 25 years ago. And our model was very simple. We were supplying coffee to all the leading brand owners across the globe. So today, almost all brand across the globe, probably the coffee inside is from Continental. So that's the strength that we have had over a period of time, and that is where we've been able to create 1,000 blends, and we have been exporting to 90 countries across the globe. And after 25 years, we realized that, since we have this kind of expertise in product development, we could also launch our own brands. And that's where our own brand journey started 5 years ago when we launched Continental Coffee. And what we are trying to do is create, more and more coffee moments for the consumers, more and more differentiated products for the consumers, and more new experiences that we can deliver to consumers, and that is what we think will give a lot of growth to us. And because of our expertise and knowledge of the international market, we believe that that's also a big market where we can play in that market with our differentiated offerings, and that will bring growth in the years to come. One of the most important aspects of our company is our strong R&D. Just to tell you, today in instant coffee we have more than 1,000 blends of coffee that we have. So we believe that we do understand consumers' palate very strongly. And as we speak right now, there are a couple of countries like France and Switzerland where our brand has started selling, and that's just the start. We're looking to expand our network across the globe.
Well, the next brand that's also solving logistics problems for companies across the globe, let's hear it for C.H. Robinson.
Technology and digitization and the increasing use of data into predictive analytics. So in C.H. Robinson, we put a lot of store by technology, and we invest into technology in different areas. First and foremost, to make our customers' life easier by giving them new tools which they can use to improve their supply chains and analyze their supply chains. Examples are procurement IQ, emissions IQ, market rate IQ, which gives them a lot of data to really assess where they can do things differently. On the people side, we also want to make sure that our people are finding life easier as we go along, that we can leverage technology to make them more productive, and more importantly, happier in their workplaces and doing more strategic work rather than repeat tasks that can be easily automated. We do everything with the customers top of our mind, in our hearts. So our technology is not something we plug and play from somewhere. It's actually designed by supply chain experts, bearing in mind the needs of our industry and our customers. We are constantly adding to our portfolios and making sure that anything that our customers need in any corner of the globe can be provided by C.H. Robinson. We try to attract the best of talent and have a culture of promoting their careers so that they have long tenures with us. We also have a strong diversity and inclusion agenda so that we attract varied talent, get different points of view, and that enriches the company. It's always very gratifying that when we do a customer satisfaction survey, people actually call out that they feel comfortable with and trust C.H. Robinson people as their partners and for the knowledge that they bring to their respective arenas.
So then let's march ahead and let's invite the next team, Pavarica Limited.
The recognition of brand Pavarica by Marksman team is of immense value for us at Pavarica, both for our staff as well as for our customers. This recognition of brand further would give confidence and trust that we have created in our customer for last 4 decades. We are also at Pavarica proud of our brand and the mission statement, a promise for power, that we have been delivering to our customers for last 4 decades. We are focusing on new opportunities in the renewable energy sector. We already are in the business of independent power producers with our own wind generation farms of capacity of 300 megawatt. In addition to this, we are in the business of EPC for wind and solar projects which we build for our customers. We have already built about more than 2,200 megawatts of wind farms for our esteemed customers and continue to grow in this sector. Our regular business with brand Pavarica for Cummins power generating sets, for which we are famous for last 4 decades. Our further growth in this sector would come from data centers, where we are responsible for supplying crucial standby power to these data centers. In addition to all these businesses is our business with South Korea, Hyundai, where we are joined them for large generating sets or 4 megawatt and 25 megawatt generating sets. These generating sets are used by mega power projects in the country, including gas, oil. We are recently executing a large order from Nuclear Power Corporation of India for their 10,000 megawatt atomic power station at Kolakulam in Tamil Nadu state.
Next team from another very prominent brand, ladies and gentlemen, Bosch Home Appliances.
We in India, we have a complete UX center in Bangalore where we do a lot of research what our consumer needs. Our new feature across the world is connectivity. So when we say connectivity means Bosch has its own, BSH has its own Home Connect program, wherein all our future appliances will be Home Connect Wi-Fi enabled smart products, which can be controlled through a special app on your phone, which is called Home Connect. Whatever we make sure that our products are very, very stringent quality test passed. We are very, very mindful of that all our products are absolutely beautifully designed for India, which caters to Indian needs. So these are the things what we take care. It's not a product which is completely for Europe, but not for India. So I think these are the 4 major pillars of our innovation in India.
Amid the Russia-Ukraine crisis, Europe saw the world's biggest rise in arms imports in the past 5 years, a trend set to accelerate following recent rearmament commitments. How are arms traded across the world, and what is this industry's worth? International trade in conventional weapons is worth an estimated $100 billion annually. The industry's products range from light weapons to warships and military defense systems. Nearly 40% of arms exports originate in the United States, but Russia, France, China, and Germany are also major suppliers. Europe shows the strongest growth in trade, 19%, a trend that should consolidate with the new Russian threats. Widely accessible weapons cause suffering and destruction. A global treaty aimed at reducing the irresponsible transfer of conventional weapons came into force in December 2014. Its strict criteria controlling sales aims to ensure participating countries avoid breaking international embargoes and reduce the number of weapons used for genocide, war crimes, or terrorism. Many of the 130 signatory countries, including the US, have still not ratified the arms trade treaty, while Russia and China have not even signed it. The International Committee of the Red Cross says there is still a discrepancy between political commitments and the ease with which arms are transferred to actors who do not respect international law.
As the felicitations continue, let me also invite the next brand on the stage, Deoleo India Private Limited.
Figaro has been a pioneer of olive oil in India, and being a pioneer of olive oil, we enjoy certain preferences that the consumer has given us and certain trust that the consumer has given us. And the olive oil, in the olive oil segment, we are always top of the mind for consumer. The brand has been in the country for almost 40 years, and we as an organization have been here since 2014. And since then, we have invested a lot behind our distribution capabilities, our manufacturing capabilities, as well as our marketing capabilities. This award gives us the strength to understand that we are progressing in the correct direction, and the direction that we have taken for so many years is right. We have always believed to be consumer centric, and all the actions that we have done have always taken into account the consumer. And we continue to serve the consumer, and we are going to do things that are going to give the consumer a differentiated product and keep on giving him joy.
And invite the next team, the next brand, Leap India.
Leap's mantra for sustained success is that we always try to provide solution to our customer, which is cutting edge technology, which is very, very innovative, and which is absolutely sustainable in future. There are more than 6 million assets that Leap owns, and we partner this on rental model that is a circular model with supplier, manufacturer, 3PL and retailer. So what we say, once you pool this asset among all the facets of supply chain, there will be less of disorder and there will be 100% sustainability, which will come in as one product is getting used by all 4 fraternities in the supply chain. Innovative solution with cutting edge technology can bring in a lot of sustainability into the entire supply chain. Brand can actually fight in the market, but collaboration has to be there in the entire supply chain arena.
Let's hear it for Bergner, India.
Thank you for recognizing us as one of the brands of the year. It encourages us to work harder for the customers. As a brand, we've always been very devoted to understanding the Indian customer, finding the apt solution for their needs. We continuously strive to live up to the expectation as a brand. Indian customers are unique since they're very progressive yet deeply rooted. Bergner, as a company, as a brand, has spent years in extensively researching the Indian market, understanding the Indian kitchen, thus curating a range for Indian use. We took the best of the cutting-edge technology, uncompromised quality that we stand for, functional designs, through our global expertise, and then Indianize the product. Our motto has always been to bring the joy in cooking to the Indian customers.
We're talking about the next brand that's being felicitated. Well, something that millennials and Gen Z will totally agree when we say the word tag.
I want to thank the team's Marksmen and India Today for conferring this award to Blossom Industries Limited. We at Blossom Industries Limited leave no stone untouched or unturned. Let it be the quality, let it be the supply chain, let it be the packaging, let it be the customer service. We have the state-of-the-art brewing facilities in the country, and it's a full-lead automated packaging line. So there is consistency, quality, customer service. Our mantra has always been for TAG that customers, consumers, and patrons have been always in the epicenter. And we believe every joy is worth celebrating. We believe that TAG recognizes that every individual is different and everybody has a viewpoint. So for that matter, everybody should be heard because the world is waiting to hear and is eager to know what each of the individual, his or her, have to say. Thank you very much.
And let's now invite Utkarsh Small Finance Bank.
Being fair and transparent in true sense in letter and spirit is very important, and it's not only for the customers, even for the non-customers. When we meet the customers and even the prospective customers, or even a customer who's not taking your services, how we deal with the customer, I think that is the mantra that we have been following from day one. I always believe that banks are meant for centuries. Any satisfied customer or even a non-customer is your ambassador for for public at large. You talk to anyone in the institution, they all are focused on how we deal with the customer, how we interact with the customer, and the relationship management is the most important part. We always believe that culture process that makes the institution, growth is bound to happen, growth will always follow. So we don't chase numbers, we chase the relationship. We ensure that relationships are there for all time to come, and that is what makes a brand, that is what creates a brand. I don't have to make a brand, that creates the brand, and that is how we deal with. And as I mentioned, the banks are there for centuries, and this is our mantra to ensure that our brand is there for all time to come.
Well, the next brand, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Indian Oil. Now I'd like to invite the team from Somani Ceramics Limited.
With the award ceremony, Brand of the Year 2022 brought to you by Team Marksmen came to a fruitful close with insightful and innovative takeaways on what goes into building of successful brands in today's ever-changing business environment.
Artificial intelligence or AI is the science of programming machines or computers to reproduce human processes like learning and decision making. Recent technological advances, for example, intelligent algorithms which decide autonomously what actions to take to achieve their objective, have seen AI take great strides forward, creeping steadily into our daily lives. Smartphones are getting smarter, cyber assistants can find information in the blink of an eye, and autonomous vehicles could soon increase road safety, potentially eliminating the risk of human error. AI offers the promise of a highly efficient world in which robots take care of our sick, stock our fridges, plan our holidays, and do hazardous jobs humans should not or will not do. Game playing is a crucial measure of AI progress, proving that a machine can execute certain intellectual tasks better than humans. Computer mastery of chess and more recently Go, the ultimate board game, have been hailed as moments in humanity's quest to create smart machines. In medicine, software can already diagnose illnesses, including some cancers, as efficiently as a real doctor. But the issue of how to adapt workforces to cope with this fourth industrial revolution has economists and policymakers scratching their heads. Millions of jobs could be threatened as robots become capable of nearly everything humans do. There are concerns that if left unchecked, the development of superintelligence could pose a threat to humanity, with computers outsmarting and outmanipulating humans.
You are watching India Today.
Good evening and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha, and here are the headlines we're tracking at the top of this hour. Sonali Phogat death probe explodes. Accused sent to 10 days police custody. Probe reveals drugs concealed inside toilet of the club. "24 hours to go for the biggest demolition. Noida neighborhood to be evacuated today. Twin towers charged and ready to be demolished." Police denies permission for comedian Munawar Farooqi's show in Delhi. Cops claim decision taken to prevent communal tensions. BJP ups the ante against Aam Aadmi Party. Delhi BJP chief leads mega Padyatra. BJP chants "Gali Gali Mein Chor Hai." Cornered up firefights, scam charges. Just a day ahead of the India-Pakistan clash in the Asia Cup, both teams are sweating it out in the nets. Here's an exclusive report by my colleague Nikhil Naz from Dubai.
When it's an India versus Pakistan contest, words like battle and war are quite often used. But this time around, there has been an atmosphere of bonhomie between the two teams. If it's not Virat Kohli speaking to the likes of Babar Azam and Shaheen Shah Afridi, today it was the turn of Indian captain Rohit Sharma to regale a few Pakistani fans.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rahul bhai. Please मुझे गले मिले. Thank you, Rahul bhai. बस यहाँ से मिले. बस यहाँ से मिले. Please यहाँ से ऐसे करें.
Carrying on that good spirit, Pakistani vice captain Shadab Khan today was asked about Virat Kohli and his struggles with the bat. And this is what the vice captain said, hoping that Virat gets 100 soon.
जो खेल नहीं रहा होता उनको ये लगता है कि वो डराते नहीं हैं, लेकिन स्टिल वो लेजेंड है. उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा परफॉर्मेंस दी है इंडिया के लिए. मेरी खुद विश है कि वो उसकी सेंचुरी होता कि वो स्टार्ट करे. हमारे खिलाफ नहीं, इस टूर्नामेंट किसी और के.
Virat's form, in fact, has been the biggest talking point so far in this particular edition of the Asia Cup. Even when KL Rahul came and spoke to the press conference, more questions were asked on Virat than KL Rahul's indifferent form. And the vice captain reposed faith in his former captain, that is Virat Kohli, hoping that the star player is going to come good very, very soon.
Comments to hum, obviously, we don't really give much importance to them. हर एक आदमी का अपना opinion होता है, doesn't really affect a player, and especially a world-class player like Virat obviously will not be affected by what people are saying on the outside.
On Virat's part, the man himself looked very, very confident. He was practicing right behind me at the ICC facility. This is where the Indian team were training. What was very heartening to see from Virat Kohli was, one, that he was very aggressive while batting in the nets. Also, there were times where he was trying various shots, experimenting with his batting, something that you don't really see with someone like Virat Kohli. Whether that will help him translate into some runs, we'll wait and watch. For the moment, this is Nikhil Nas signing off from Dubai for India Today.
The big ticket India-Pakistan clash is back. The venue is same as it was the last time around when the two teams faced each other during the T20 World Cup. Surely India would like to reverse the result of that match, and they have reason to feel that way. So what makes this Indian team a favourite to retain the Asia Cup title? Here's our report.
It's the mother of all battles. The rivalry is all set to resume, with arch rivals India and Pakistan coming face to face on Super Sunday. The last time these two teams faced each other, India didn't have a favourable result, a 10-wicket defeat in the opening game of the T20 World Cup last year. Pakistan may want to remember that win and could feel a psychological edge, but India will come back stronger, and their record against the arch rivals come in handy. In T20 internationals, India and Pakistan have faced each other 9 times, out of which India ended up winning 6 of those, while Pakistan has just 2 victories. Since that defeat in the last T20 World Cup, a lot has changed for India. A new captain in Rohit Sharma and a new head coach in Rahul Dravid, who unfortunately hasn't joined the team yet following a COVID-positive test, have taken over the reins. India, in fact, has played 28 T20 internationals since they lost to Pakistan in October last year. Their record has been great, with 22 wins out of those 28 games, and have lost just 5 games, while Pakistan have won 10 out of just 12 games that they have played in that period. For Rohit Sharma, the Asia Cup will bring back some fond memories, because he was the captain the last time India won the Asia Cup in 2018. Virat Kohli missed out that edition, which was played in an ODI format. India is the most successful team in the history of Asia Cup, having won the tournament 7 times, followed by Sri Lanka, who have won the title 5 times, and then Pakistan with 2 titles. The tournament will hold a lot of importance, not just because a title is at stake, but this will also allow teams to gauge the balance of their respective teams ahead of the all-important T20 World Cup in October. India has been juggling with quite a number of players lately, but maybe the time has finally arrived to finalize their best team, as the squad for the World Cup will have to be announced by September 15th. At the Asia Cup though, it will be a battle for the Asian supremacy, and there is every possibility that in next couple of weeks, fans across the world may get to see India and Pakistan play each other not once, not twice, but thrice. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Well, Virat Kohli has been the big talking point during this Asia Cup. A lot of talk about his mental health, about his month-long break as well. Here he is exclusively in an interview with the BCCI.
Asia Cup for me always has been memorable, and yes, the 183 definitely stands out for me personally, because that was kind of a revelation for me. 23, I could play at that level, and in a big game, Sunday, Pakistan, in a big chase, I kind of surprised myself, and then from there my belief grew more and more. And then the other game that was special to me and I remember quite fondly is again against Pakistan in Bangladesh, and I got 49 odd on a very tricky pitch. So these are kind of games that always stay in your memory. Pakistan se kisi bhi tournament mein the game, it's just what's created on the outside that you can't really ignore. But as a player, as I've said many times in the past, when you step onto the field, it's any other game for you. Just the environment on the outside obviously can pull you in, but that's for you to enjoy and get excited about till the time you get to the park, and then it's usual business. एक डिफरेंट सबसे बेसिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से तो ऐसी थी कि मतलब 10 साल में पहली बार मैंने 1 महीना बैट नहीं छुआ है। तो when I sat down and thought about it, I was like, wow, I haven't actually touched a bat for 30 days, which is, I haven't done that ever in my life. And that's when I sat down and thought, I was like, hold on. I came to the realization that I was kind of trying to fake my intensity a bit recently. No, I can do it. You know, you're competitive and you're convincing yourself, no, I have the intensity. But your body is telling you to stop. Your mind's telling you to just take a break and step back. And it's facts. I mean, I understand what Ravi Bhai has mentioned. He's mentioned about the workloads as well, the volume of cricket, how I've played 40 or 50% more than anyone in the last 10 years. I'm looked at as a guy who's been mentally very strong, and I am, but everyone has a limit, and you need to recognize that limit, otherwise things can get unhealthy for you. So this period actually taught me a lot of things that I was not allowing to come to the surface. और जब वो आई तो I embraced it. Yeah, there is much more to life than, you know, just your profession. और जब एक माहौल ऐसा बन जाता है कि आपको सब लोग आपके प्रोफेशन की आइडेंटिटी से देख रहे हैं, तो somewhere you start losing perspective as a human being. And I've always been a guy who's followed my heart from day one. You know, I was a guy who was looked at as brash, and I was not mature enough, but I was true to myself. I never wanted to be or tried to be someone else. Look, our endeavour has always been to play aggressive cricket in T20s. Even in the past, we have had many big scores, and we have chased down many big scores, and we have won series in many countries. That cannot happen without having intent in the first place. But I think in big tournaments, you need more awareness and cricketing smarts than wanting to play a certain brand of cricket, because that can implode on a particular day as well. And we have the talent and the ability in the team to understand the situation and play the situation accordingly.
So that is, of course, Virat Kohli breaking his silence on the various subjects that have, in fact, done the rounds as far as his health is concerned, his batting temperament is concerned, his month-long break from, in fact, the sport is concerned. He says that he did not touch the bat for a whole month. So that has obviously been the topic of conversation. He has been the topic of a conversation, but much, in fact, is being anticipated about that big clash tomorrow. Shifting focus, the murder mystery of Sonali Phogat continues to unravel. 2 accused have been sent to 10 days police custody. Goa's Curly Club owner for questioning, while the police also recovered drugs from the bathroom of the club. The count of total arrests in the case is now 4. A popular TikTok star turned a BJP leader. Her mystery death now drawing India's attention. The probe into Sonali Phogat's death taking more curious turns. After confessing to drugging Sonali, the 2 accused, her PA Sudhir Sangwan and his friend Sukhwinder Singh, have been sent to 10 days police custody. A video of Sonali in a visibly intoxicated state also emerged on Friday. The owner of Curly's club, Edwin, and the peddler who supplied drugs to the accused, Datta Prasad Gaunkar, have also been arrested by cops. The cops also recovered drugs from the bathroom of the club, where banned drugs were allegedly spiked in Sonali's strings. Edwin and Gaunkar have been charged under Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act and are being grilled by the cops. Police sources told India Today that statements of more than 20 people have been recorded, including the staff of the club.
आज इनको जुडिशियल मैजिस्ट्रेट की कोर्ट में पेश किया गया था और जुडिशियल मैजिस्ट्रेट ने इनका 10 दिन का पुलिस रिमांड दिया है और इन 10 दिनों में हम जो भी एलिगेशंस फैमिली ने, इनके भाई ने एलिगेशंस लगाए हैं अपनी शिकायत में, जिनके बेसिस पे एफआईआर दर्ज की गई है, उनका सत्यापन करेंगे.
Cops are now probing how Sonali was taken to hospital by the accused in a private vehicle of one of the guests when she complained of uneasiness. Sonali's family, which has been crying foul from day one, is demanding justice.
जब
दिशा में हमारे को कुछ मिलेगा वो भी नहीं जारी, फिर हम सीबीआई इंक्वायरी की वो करेंगे मांग, और नार्को टेस्ट होना चाहिए, फांसी की सजा होनी चाहिए। जिस हिसाब से उसने जानवरों से बदतर, यानी कि वो तो फुटेज मारा है, जैसे उसकी मृत्यु की गई है ऐसे तो किसी कोई जानवर को नहीं मारता।
खाना खाने के बाद उनको ऐसी प्रॉब्लम होती थी, फील होता, सुन्नापन आता था, लेकिन अभी इस चीज़ का तो ध्यान नहीं था ना। अभी हमने सोचा अभी थकान होगी या सारा दिन जब दिल्ली चंडीगढ़ जाना होता है, थक गए होंगे। पोस्टमार्टम में रिपोर्ट आने के बाद में उन 2 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया, 2 लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। अभी ठीक है, हम सोच रहे हैं अभी ठीक हो रहा है, आगे और अच्छे से इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए और भी।
With the drug angle coming to light now, police are now looking at all possible theories, including murder over finances. With Pankaj Upadhyay in Panaji, Bureau Report, India Today.
In more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party after the liquor scam, Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has recommended a detailed investigation into the construction of classrooms in government schools. Here's a report.
Under attack for the Liquorgate scam, another firestorm has hit Arvind Kejriwal and his deputy Manish Sisodia. And this time it is the Aam Aadmi Party's much touted Delhi education model that is under the scanner. Delhi LG VK Saxena has sought a report from the Chief Secretary over the delay of 2.5 years in acting on the CVC inquiry report related to construction of classrooms in Delhi government schools. The CVC, which reported gross irregularities in various projects related to Delhi government schools, received the complaint on 25th July 2019. It then submitted its report to the Delhi government on 17th February 2020 for appropriate action. But nothing happened. The report said that there was a cost overrun of nearly 90% of the construction of classrooms in Delhi government schools. The CVC report also said that no tenders were issued for the construction process and that 500 crores were sanctioned. It also red flags CPWD work manual violations and says that the construction quality was poor and incomplete.
हर चौराहे पे, हर अखबार की कटिंग के साथ अगर बहस हो रही है तो ये बहस हो रही है कि जो व्यक्ति स्वराज की बात किया था अब वो अपराध राज में चल रहा है.
The Vigilance Department report has some more damning findings. It says toilets were counted as classrooms, and even then only 124 toilets were constructed instead of 164. And while the requirement was of 6,133 classrooms, only 4,027 were built. The cost for the same went up from 989 crore rupees to 1,315 crores. And no fresh tenders were issued for any of these constructions. Soon after the LG sought a reply on the vigilance report, the Delhi Chief Minister and the Education Minister brazened it out.
इस देश में एक ही शिक्षा मंत्री है और अब तो ऐसे लगता है जैसे पूरी दुनिया में एक ही शिक्षा मंत्री है. अगर अमेरिका वालों से पूछो कौन शिक्षा मंत्री तो वो भी कह रहे हैं भाई मनीष सिसोदिया. तो ये हर भारतीय के लिए गौरव की बात थी, बहुत गर्व की बात थी, सब लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगा.
बात मेरा फोटो छपने की नहीं थी, बात एजुकेशन की नहीं थी, बात ये थी कि भारत की अच्छी खबर छपती है तो हर भारतीय को गर्व होता है. मुझे भी एक भारतीय होने के नाते सुबह सुबह गर्व हुआ.
Arvind Kejriwal and his party pride themselves on their turnaround of the state of Delhi government schools. With these old allegations over classroom construction being raked up again, the Delhi political dangle is only set to escalate. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Delhi BJP unit has stepped up its attack against the Aam Aadmi Party government over the contentious Delhi liquor policy. Under the leadership of Delhi BJP President Adesh Gupta, BJP workers held placards and went on a padayatra chanting "Gali Gali Mein Chor Hai" chants. staging a protest near the Delhi Vidhan Sabha. BJP is alleging the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal wasted its special one-day session by indulging in theatrics. Meanwhile, Kejriwal has defended Sisodia, saying the CBI could not find any unaccounted penny during its 14-hour raid at his residence. CBI has registered an FIR in connection with alleged irregularities in the excise policy, naming Sisodia as an accused.
हमने जिन सवालों को उठाया है वो सारे तथ्यों पर आधारित है। जब इन्होंने नई शराब की नीति बनाई तो इन्होंने कहा कि हम शराब के इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए बात कर रहे हैं। मैं केजरीवाल सरकार से पूछना चाहता हूं, आप पानी के इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए नीति नहीं लाए। आप दिल्ली के अंदर बारिशों में पानी भरता है उसके लिए पॉलिसी नहीं ला पाए। दिल्ली के अंदर प्रदूषण से राहत के लिए पॉलिसी नहीं बना पाए। दिल्ली के अंदर सीवर सिस्टम मजबूत हो इसके लिए पॉलिसी नहीं बना पाए। लेकिन वहीं जो आम आदमी पार्टी सरकार जो तिरंगा हाथ में पकड़कर महात्मा गांधी की तस्वीर पकड़ते थे, वो आज जाकर शराब की नीति लाए थे। और वो शराब की नीति जिसमें हजारों करोड़ का भ्रष्टाचार किया है, दलाली की है, इनके नेताओं ने और दिल्ली के राजस्व की चोरी की है।
And that's a wrap on this bulletin. For all the latest news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. Thanks for watching.
You are watching India Today.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
How does crypto TDS work? TDS deduction on cryptos depends on your mode and medium of transaction. If you have crypto at your disposal and you are thinking of selling it off, then from July 1st onwards, you will have to pay 1% of tax deducted at source of the transaction value to the government. Now, who will be liable to deduct this TDS depends on your mode and medium of transaction. So consider this. If you are buying and selling through an exchange, then no TDS will be deducted from the buyer on buying crypto using INR, while the seller of the crypto will be liable to pay TDS. The crypto exchange will deduct this amount and deposit it with income tax department. The seller would be able to offset this 1% TDS from her or his total tax liability when he files for tax returns. A TDS certificate will also be issued in due course. However, in a peer-to-peer direct buyer-to-seller transaction, the buyer is required to deduct tax under Section 194S of the Income Tax Act. The next important point to note is how you are selling, whether it is in INR or another crypto. If it is in rupees, then the crypto exchange will deduct it from the seller. But if the transaction is done in crypto pairs, then 1% TDS will be deducted from both the parties in respective coins and then converted to INR. For example, sale of 1 Bitcoin from 10 Ethereum will incur a deduction of 0.01 BTC and 0.1 ETH, being 1% of sale value as TDS. The crypto that is deducted as TDS will be liquidated to INR at the end of the day, and this INR realized amount will be paid as TDS to the government. A newsletter from WazirX states, if TDS gets deducted in crypto, users will be able to see the INR value of this TDS in the trading report after 48 hours. The tax would be deducted only if the consideration exceeds Rs 10,000 for the financial year. But in the case of individuals or HUFs who are not into business or profession or are not subject to audit under the income tax, this limit would be Rs 50,000. Moreover, TDS shall be charged on net consideration, which is sale value after reducing charges and GST.
Oh, sorry.
काम किया है जी, काम करेंगे, लोग हमें यूं ही बदनाम करेंगे, हमारी वजह से दिल्ली वाले हंस रहे हैं जी, समझ नहीं आ रहा फिर हमारे लोग क्यों फंस रहे हैं जी।
क्या हुआ जी, आप इतने खास आदमी क्यों हो रहे हैं?
बड़ी मुश्किल है जी, खोया मेरा दिल है जी, कोई मेरे दिल को समझाए ना, ईडी सीबीआई से बचूं और बचाऊं कैसे बिल्कुल समझ आए ना, मैं रोऊं या हंसूं, करूं मैं क्या करूं जी, बताओ ना कोई, मैं रोऊं या हंसूं, करूं मैं क्या करूं जी।
झाड़ू लेकर आया था तो झाड़ू लेकर जाएगा, सबका नंबर आएगा भाई, सबका नंबर आएगा।
जो होगा वो देख लेंगे, हम तो तैयार हैं जी, आरोप कोई लगा ले, हम तो कट्टर ईमानदार हैं जी। नमस्कार जी।
Netas busy with chutney, egg and poster nataka. Pothole menace disrupts life in Bengaluru. Every road riddled with killer potholes. Citizens victims of administrative incompetence. Will potholes become the biggest issue in the upcoming election?
Away from the noisy crossfire and politics over Savarkar versus Tipu Sultan, the pothole menace has disrupted life as we know it in the beautiful city of Bengaluru. According to reports, in the last 1 year, Bengaluru has witnessed 9 deaths due to unsafe road conditions. Today, a video has exposed once again how unsafe roads of Bengaluru have turned. Here's a report.
No end to civic apathy in Bengaluru. A woman biker narrowly escaping death after her scooter toppled while trying to avoid a deadly pothole
in Bengaluru's Kasturi Nagar flyover. Luckily, she suffered only minor injuries. She could very easily have been run over. The accident captured on a dash cam by a person driving right behind her. The commuter who witnessed the entire incident stated that he rushed to help the woman after she fell down on the road.
It was on a weekday. I was starting. I was going to office. I saw a lady, suddenly skidding in front of me and then falling. And I was able to put brake in time, and I then rushed and checked upon her. She was her hands and legs were moving, so she had some minor bruises. I would not say minor, maybe a good amount of bruises.
The incident comes just days after a 44-year-old died after falling from his bike in Bengaluru on August the 18th. Supreet Raj was going to his office in Harohalli when he fell from his bike while negotiating a pothole on the Sunka Dakate road. He suffered head injuries despite wearing a helmet. The victim's family claimed the accident occurred because of the pothole.
ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳ್ಳ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಸರ್. ಬಿದ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೇ ಎತ್ತಾಕ್ತೋ.
ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ? ಹೆಂಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಏಟ್ ಬಿದ್ದಿತ್ತು?
ಕಿವಿಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು. ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಕಳಿಸ್ರು ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ತರ ಪಾಟೋಲ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಂಡಿ ಇದೆ?
ಒಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷ 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ತರ ಆಯ್ತು.
Potholes and poor roads have taken several lives in Bengaluru, a city that's still grappling with decrepit road infrastructure. Around 6 road accidents related to potholes have occurred this year alone. At least 13 people have died due to potholes in the last 5 years. The Karnataka High Court had even hauled up the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagarapalike officials for the delay in filling up and fixing these potholes. Despite the court's stern warning, the Bengaluru civic body appears to have failed miserably in doing its duty. As the state goes into election mode, will potholes and dying infrastructure become issue number 1 for Bengalurians? Till then, the IT city, the Silicon hub of India, continues to trip and die on potholes. With Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today. Now I want to take you across to Rijesh, who is the one who filmed this terrifying video using his dash cam on Bengaluru's roads. This is the latest video that has brought potholes in Bengaluru into the spotlight. This video has gone viral all around the world. It has terrified, it has disturbed people. That young lady captured on Rijesh's dash cam thankfully survived because Rijesh was able to stop his car in time and he was able to save that young lady who is recovering from her injuries. She was luckier than the 13 people like her who have lost their lives. Rijesh, welcome. How did it happen? You had your dash cam on and you were able to capture this very, very disturbing accident. How did it all play out, Rijesh?
Yeah. So it was on August 17th, I believe. Like I posted this video 2 days after the incident. It was on a weekday. I was starting. I was going to office, and I usually take that route towards the Whitefield. So when I was on the ramp up of the Kasturi Nagar flyover, which goes towards the KR Puram, I saw a lady, suddenly skidding in front of me and then falling. And I instantly realized, okay, she fell due to a pothole. But I was not knowing from which direction she was coming. But she skidded on a pothole and then she fell. And I was able to put brake in time, and I then rushed and checked upon her. There are other people also who came, rushed, and then we checked upon her. She was okay, but she was, bruised. She was having bruises on her hands, and her hands and legs were moving, so she had some minor bruises. I would not say minor, maybe a good amount of bruises. So people came and people helped her. And then, she was slowly coming back to normality. She was crying a lot. It was very bad to see, that incident. And it was like, there is no fault of her. She had a bad fall because of the pothole.
Rijesh, it was obviously really a good thing that you had your dash cam on. That's the reason why, we were able to get this footage. And this footage was valuable because it has brought national attention to the menace of potholes and perhaps helps in also putting pressure on the Karnataka government. Do you normally keep, your dash cam video on?
Yes, yes. So I normally keep it on. It's just I never found any use of it. But I do keep it on. To just for recreational. To check. If we are passing through any good scenery, so we can capture those. But yeah, at least it was helpful in this way by which I was able to capture the incident and able to bring it out in the public. The dangers of the pothole.
How bad is it out there, Rajesh? You're a motorist. You've got your dash cam on. You've probably seen this kind of thing before. How bad is the pothole menace in Bengaluru?
Right. Yeah, it is always good to have a dash cam, in case, for your safety as well as for, if you want to, help others in case of any such incidents captured in the camera.
Just a side question. Do you think everyone should get a dash cam? It obviously has a safety element to it as well. But, capturing pictures like these obviously call attention to something that everyone suffers. Would you say that everyone should have a dash cam on their cars?
So this is actually all around the Bengaluru. The potholes are so prevalent everywhere in the roads, especially after the rains. And we had a good amount of rain this monsoon season here. That has created a lot of potholes in and around Bangalore. So this again questions the quality of the construction of the road, right? Why can't the road sustain, a monsoon, 1 year monsoon, and so I'm not sure. Like probably somebody should take responsibility of that and ensure that we get a good quality road. Where we admire the city. This city is great. It gives opportunity for everybody to from all walks of life. So but if the infrastructure issues like this, right? It's giving a bad name to the city. But these are not something which is takes a fortune for us to fix it, right? It's just a matter of the authorities waking up and doing this. So not sure. Probably somebody should take some sincere action so that we don't get such incidents like this.
Do you think this should be, Rajesh, final question, do you think this should be one of the main issues for Bengaluru, at least going into this election that's coming up in just a few months?
So because irrespective of the government, right, whatever be the government, we need a good infra. That's it. Whoever comes just matters. So,
well, Rajesh, please stay safe out there. Thank you for being able to capture a video that has brought national focus to an issue that too often gets overridden by all the other things. And here on India Today, we're very clear. We will show you the issues that matter to the citizens. Going into the elections in Karnataka, we will focus our lens on the issues that pertain to people's lives, lifestyle, and comfort in Karnataka. That young woman escaped with her life, but she so easily could have been run over, and she could have been the 14th casualty in the last 5 years. That's right. 13 Bengalurians have lost their lives directly due to the pothole menace that afflicts many of Bengaluru's roads in just the last 5 years. She's escaped by the skin of her teeth. 13 people in the last 5 years have not been so lucky. So people are wondering, why isn't Bangalore's dying road infrastructure, the pothole menace, and the danger to motorists on a daily basis not a bigger issue? Well, it is a big issue here on India Today. Joining me live, M. Gautam Kumar is an ex-mayor of Bengaluru and also a spokesperson of the BJP. Tara Krishnaswamy is co-founder of Citizens for Bengaluru and Political Shakti. She's an activist. Arun is a victim of Bengaluru's infamous potholes. Arun, I'd like to start with you. You've sustained injuries in a pothole accident. You are one of the lucky ones, Arun, who has lived to tell the tale. 13 people in the last 5 years, 5 people this year alone have lost their lives in potholes, Arun.
Yeah, I was lucky enough actually. So I was coming from Kerpuram to Tin Factory way, and in between there was a big pothole on the road, and I was coming on a scooter, and it fall on the pothole, and I lost the balance. And I fell on the road, and luckily, major nothing happened, less the bruises all over my body. I was so fortunate that there was a car coming behind that they could manage to stop it, but otherwise it would have been fatal actually. I was lucky to, escape from that incident actually.
Tara, 13 people dead in the last 5 years. Nothing appears to have been done to, make sure that this repeated, recurring pothole nightmare in Bengaluru, which is more prevalent in Bengaluru perhaps than any other city in the country, barring Mumbai, has been fixed. What do you make of it? This is something you've been speaking out against as well.
Yeah, Shiv, Bangalore's roads are infamously dangerous. Bangalore, in fact, is rated as one of the top cities with the most dangerous roads, even for pedestrians and for now vehicle users, especially two-wheelers as well. The underlying issue is the fact that for nearly 2 years, we have not had a Bangalore Municipal Corporation elected council, right? Which means that there is nobody accountable to the people to fix these things. So terrible things go on happening, be it flooding, be it garbage, be it unfortunately deaths due to potholes, but there's no one to go and ask. The government is not conducting elections despite the fact that the court has issued orders. And the only progress we've seen is that, as we say in Kannada here, the BJP government here has gone from Nalvattu Sarkara, which is 40% commission, to Aivattu Sarkara, which is 50% commission. So you cannot expect good outcomes if this is the kind of, reputation that they are building. You see the issues that come out of Karnataka in the past 3 years nationally. Look at your own channel and what kinds of issues have surfaced nationally. You see hijab-related issues, you see Savarkar-related issues. Where do you see the governance-related issues? Where do you see the educational outcomes? Where do you see the infrastructure issues? Where do you see the, women's dignity and safety issues?
And that's the reason why on India Today we've decided to put the spotlight on these issues. I'm asking you, Tara, you're saying that this is a corruption issue. Apart from an elected council not being there, you're saying there is corruption, there are contractors who are benefiting from, inferior materials being used to fix the roads. And as a direct consequence, after a little bit of rain, you have these potholes on the roads. That's what you're saying. This is a corruption issue.
It is a huge corruption issue, and it is a complete lack of capacity, lack of accountability issue, because there is no council. Without a local corporation, who is going to take care of the city? How can a city of 1.4 crore people have absolutely no elected councillors, no elected corporation to take care of it? How will it run itself? Who's going to fix this? And if they don't, when something goes wrong, who do I go complain to? Very simple question, right? For the first time in the history of India, contractors who themselves are at the receiving end of the commission have complained against a minister, right? So corruption has reached proportions where the corrupt themselves are fighting with each other. So
it's terrible. I want to put some numbers on a screen before we get a response from Mr. M. Gautam Kumar, who's been an ex-mayor in the city of Bengaluru, is also a spokesperson of the party that rules Karnataka at this point of time. There have been 13 deaths in the last 5 years. In Whitefield, there have been 3 deaths. In Yelahanka, all areas of Bengaluru, there have been 2 deaths. RT Nagar, there has been 1 death. Peenya, there has been 1 death. Kamakshi Palya, there has been 1 death. Banaswadi, 1 death. Pulakeshi Nagar, 1 death. Yashwantpura, 1 death. Chickpet, 1 death. 13 deaths in all in the last 5 years. Mr. Gautam Kumar, how would you respond to the charge that potholes are a low priority issue in the state of Karnataka? There are contract mafias and incomplete councils in the BBMP that have resulted in potholes being such a killer menace for the common citizen, sir?
I do accept there are deaths in Bangalore, but it is not true that the government and the corporation is not attending to it. The corporation has done a lot of works regarding with the potholes, and as we all see, it is not less rain, it is more rains nowadays here in Bangalore, which have caused too much of issues here. And it is not only the rains, it is the metro work is on, and the Bangalore roads are 13,000 kilometers. And during the COVID issues, lockdown issues, we really needed the fast internet connections, wherein more of OFC connection permissions were given. Metro construction is on. 6,000 kilometers of BESCOM overhead to underground cables are laying from 2019.
But this is despite all of that, sir. This is the main roads themselves. This is the main roads themselves.
No,
this doesn't have to do with additional works.
No, it is the works going on wherein we can see the works are getting executed in Bangalore, and to cover up this infrastructural works, our Honorable CM Basuraj Bommaiji has, under the Amrut scheme, has issued 6,000 crores works related to Bangalore development.
No, but that does not answer, I appreciate all the good work being done from Bengaluru, and nobody is doing Bengaluru any favors. That is public money. That is public money being used for amenities for the common citizen. But I am saying, for instance, the visual that we have on our screen that has gone viral today, Tara, do you buy this explanation that all these works that are being done in Bengaluru, it's a result of that sometimes these things are happening? How would you respond to M. Gautam Kumar? Tara?
No, let me finish this. Let me finish this.
Quickly.
1 minute.
Yeah,
See,
quickly.
It is wrong that the government is not doing anything. It has developed an app wherein Tara madam can come to the app and update the potholes, where exactly the potholes are. It is called Fix My Street app.
But sir, there is an issue. There is an issue, and maybe Tara can confirm this for me or not. In no other city does rains create this kind of pothole. So there is an impression that low quality materials are being used, and it's an issue of corruption that low quality materials are being used using public money, as a result of which these potholes are constantly appearing after even a little bit of rain. Tara, is that true?
Yeah, so Shiv, let's ask ourselves, let's examine this. Okay, so first, really quickly about the app. Sure, one can go to any number of apps or websites and complain about the problem. The point is, if it doesn't get addressed, or if it doesn't get addressed properly, who's neck to choke? Gautam Avre himself is the mayor. I have personally met him on multiple occasions. We had him to go and talk to at some point and say, sir, such and such thing is not working. Today, we don't have that. That is the point. The issue is not that there isn't an administrative part of BBM. The issue is when administration fails, who do you go to? That is why you elect people. You need your politicians so that you can go hold them responsible. And
Mr. Gautam Kumar, the allegation is that when you were mayor, you were approachable. You were there to fix things. Now there is no person like Gautam Kumar or an elected council to actually address these problems.
So the second thing is,
which is a compliment and a criticism.
Many of these pothole deaths have actually happened on top of flyovers. What BESCOM is laying cables on flyovers? What metro is being built on flyovers? Nothing.
Yeah,
the point is that the quality of work is shoddy, and there is immeasurable amount of corruption, and it doesn't matter how much good work you do if ordinary innocent citizens are losing lives. What's the point of doing all that work if you're ending up killing?
I deny the things what you're saying. It is corruption. Corruption is not there. If there is a corruption, there is no work. No. See, we as a government, our CM is the in-charge minister of the Bangalore, has issued many of the programs. He's done latitude and longitude GPS system, which is monitored by the traffic police. It is only corporation in India wherein we have our self batch mix plant also. And looking at the potholes maintenance now with rains and with other issues, our CM and our ministers in Bangalore have started taking up the works in a different way. They are taken 3 on a higher basis batch mix plant, wherein every day we are fixing up the batch mix plant when we get to see in the Fix My App Street.
Sir, you can call it whatever you want. You don't like the word corruption, you use some other word. The point is, if the road should be good and instead it is broken and people are losing their lives, that is what is called corruption. Something that should be good when it is bad.
Let me bring Arun in. Okay, let me bring Arun in for a moment, because he's actually been a victim of something that we are discussing. There are two sides to it. One side says it's corruption, incompetence, the fact that governance is not happening. The other side says there's a lot of stuff happening in Bengaluru and this is a side effect of that. Arun, as someone who has actually faced the pothole menace, I'm sure you've heard the political fight over who is responsible, what are the reasons for this pothole menace. Where do you stand on this as someone who has seen it directly and all too painfully, Arun?
No, so from my point, I mean, I don't want to get into any of these political things, but as a common citizen, tax-paying citizen, so I want the road to be there for me to travel at, right? So that's the basic thing we need actually, right? And we don't want to avoid this kind of situations. That's the only thing I want actually. I'm not there to debate on any of those angles, but the basic amenity, right? I mean, these potholes are like, it's like a death trap actually, I would say, right? And if rain happens, you will not see that pothole, and in the night it's more hazard. So that's the only request I have is, please keep it clean so that, we can travel smoothly, right? I mean, when you get outside from the house, you enter into road only, right? Then comes the other, railway station or airport, anything. So road is the basic thing you need actually. And if you see the two-wheelers are more in the road, so please at least help the citizen so that they can travel safely on the road, right?
And
that's my only request, actually. I don't want to just got some things actually.
We just got some visuals a few minutes ago, and we'll put them on our screens right now. 15 minutes of rain in the city of Bengaluru just a short while ago, and there are road after road which are completely flooded. Those are, some frightening pictures. That's a separate issue altogether, but because, and those are the pictures on our screen right now, completely inundated one particular neighborhood after just 15 minutes of rain. So drainage systems are a different story altogether, but once this water clears away, there will be potholes on these roads as well, and that is one of the main concerns of citizens. Mr. Gautam Kumar, how will you reassure citizens? Arun is not a politician, he's not an activist, he's just a common Bengalurian who has, been bruised and battered and thankfully survived an encounter with a pothole. How will you reassure them? Because for them, they are like, we don't want to care about the political fight. We just want to pay our taxes and make sure that those taxes are going into good roads that will not kill us.
No, our government is really working hard, really thinking about the citizens of the Bangalore, wherein the deaths have caused. We really feel sorry for it. But 100% our government, our Honorable CM Shri Basuraj Bomaiji, is 100% working onto it. We have taken a complete picture of the Bangalore, keeping the view and the infrastructural works. They have allotted 6,000 crores of work, which is on the tender stage, which is yet to start, which will start very soon, and people will feel really people will feel the difference.
Cutting across now to these exclusive visuals that we're getting to you, viewers, of moments before Sonali Phogat was drugged in Goa. In the CCTV footage, which has been exclusively accessed by India Today, accused Sudhir can be seen forcibly giving drugs from a bottle to Sonali. In the CCTV footage, Sonali doesn't seem to be conscious in her senses. She seems to be stopping Sudhir, but Sudhir is constantly giving her drugs from the bottle. Those exclusive images on your screens right now that India Today has accessed CCTV footage from the club where Sonali was with her PA and PA's aide. There you can see Sudhir forcibly, in fact, giving Sonali drugs in that footage. My colleague Arvind Ojha is live with me right now. Arvind is bringing us these exclusive images at the moment. Arvind, हमको बताइए कि इस CCTV footage में आखिर हो क्या रहा है, पूरा describe कीजिए।
देखिए, सबसे पहले बताऊं कि सोनाली फोगाट को लेकर ये मेगा एक्सक्लूसिव है इंडिया टुडे का, जिसमें साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा है। ये मौत के कुछ घंटों पहले का सोनाली फोगाट का ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज है, जिसमें साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि किस तरीके से पार्टी चल रही है गोवा में। और उसी दौरान अगर आप देखेंगी तो सीसीटीवी फुटेज में जो बॉटल से कुछ पिलाता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है सुधीर, गोवा पुलिस का ये दावा है कि इसी बॉटल में 1.5 ग्राम जो MDMA ड्रग है वो मिक्स किया गया था और सोनाली फोगाट को दिया जा रहा है। सीसीटीवी में साफ आपको दिखाई दे रहा होगा और सोनाली बार बार मना भी करती हुई इसमें दिखाई दे रही है। ये तस्वीरें साफ बयां करती हैं कि क्या हुआ होगा उस रात। और गोवा पुलिस का जो क्लेम है कि सुधीर ने फोर्सली ड्रग दिया था और जिसके बाद सोनाली की काफ़ी हालत बिगड़ी थी। हमने इसके पहले भी वो सीसीटीवी इमेज रेस्टोरेंट का दिखाया था इंडिया टुडे ने, जिसमें सोनाली की हालत काफ़ी बिगड़ी थी। तो हालत काफ़ी क्यों बिगड़ी थी ये जो सीसीटीवी है वो बयां कर रहा है। और मैं आपको बताऊं ये क्रूशियल पीस ऑफ एविडेंस है, ये एक एविडेंस है जो गोवा पुलिस आने वाले दिनों में कोर्ट में रखेगी, जिसमें साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि एक बोतल में सोनाली फोगाट को सुधीर, जिसको गोवा पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है, वो बोतल से कुछ पिलाता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है। गोवा पुलिस का यह दावा है कि इस बोतल में MDMA जो ड्रग्स थी वो मिक्स करके दी गई थी और जिसके बाद सोनाली की हालत काफ़ी बिगड़ी और इसी वजह से न सिर्फ सुधीर को बल्कि जो उनका स्टाफ है उनको, उसके अलावा जो दो और एक जिसने ड्रग सप्लाई किया था और एक रेस्टोरेंट जिसमें ड्रग रिकवर हुआ और जिसमें सोनाली की हालत बिगड़ी थी, उनको अरेस्ट किया गया था। तो कुल मिलाकर 4 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया है। लेकिन सोनाली फोगाट की मौत को लेकर जो पिछले 3 दिन से लगातार पूरे देश की मीडिया कवरेज कर रहा है, उसमें इंडिया टुडे का ये मेगा एक्सक्लूसिव न्यूज़ ब्रेक है, जिसमें एस्टैब्लिश्ड होता है जो गोवा पुलिस का क्लेम है कि सोनाली को फोर्सफुली ड्रग दिया गया था। वो सीसीटीवी इंडिया टुडे के स्क्रीन पर आप देख पा रहे होंगे, जिसमें साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि पार्टी चल रही है गोवा में और उसमें सोनाली भी की हालत आप देख पा रहे होंगे और उसमें जो सुधीर है वो एक बोतल से कुछ पिलाता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है। गोवा पुलिस का ये क्लेम है कि इसमें MDMA जो ड्रग्स है वो मिक्स किया गया था और पार्टी के दौरान ही सोनाली फोगाट को ये ड्रग दिया जा रहा है और लगातार जो सोनाली वो मना करती हुई इसमें दिखाई दे रही है। ये मौत के कुछ घंटों पहले का सीसीटीवी इमेज है जो इंडिया टुडे पर एक्सक्लूसिव है।
Right, so Arvind of course is over there bringing us those exclusive pictures. Arvind, stay on with us. Those exclusive pictures, viewers, of CCTV footage from the club where Sonali Phogat was before she unfortunately died in mysterious circumstances. It is a matter of investigation. At the moment, 4 people have been arrested. 2 of them have been sent into 10 days police custody. One of them is Sudhir, who you see in those images over there, forcibly asking Sonali and forcibly having her drink something from a bottle. And the police, in fact, is telling Arvind, my colleague, that there was 1.5 grams of MDMA drug which was in that bottle, spiked into her drink, and she was being forced to drink that. You can see that she is resisting, but Sudhir continues to pour that into her mouth as well. This is going to be extremely crucial. Arvind, जो NDPS एक्ट के तहत जो एडविन है कर्लीज के जो प्रोप्राइटर है और जो पेडलर है गाउनकर, उनको जिनको पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है, उनके रोल के बारे में बताएं।
देखिए ये भी अपने आप में काफ़ी शॉकिंग है। जब जो अक्यूज्ड है सुधीर और जो स्टाफ है सुखविंदर, उनसे इंटरोगेशन के बाद ड्रग एंगल के बारे में जानकारी मिली। उसके बाद ड्रग पेडलर को अरेस्ट करने की कोशिश गोवा पुलिस ने की। जानकर ये काफ़ी हैरानी हुई गोवा पुलिस को कि जिस होटल में सोनाली, सुधीर और सुखविंदर रुके हुए थे, उसी के जो होटल का एक वेटर था, उस वेटर ने ही ड्रग तकरीबन 2 ग्राम से ज़्यादा का जो ड्रग है वो वेटर ने ही प्रोवाइड कराया था सुधीर को, जिसके बाद जो वेटर है उसको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया है। जो कर्लीज रेस्टोरेंट है जहां पर जो सोनाली है उसकी हालत काफ़ी ज़्यादा खराब हुई थी, उस कर्लीज रेस्टोरेंट के में ड्रग रिकवर हुआ, जिसके बाद कर्लीज रेस्टोरेंट के जो ऑनर है उनको भी अरेस्ट कर लिया गया। तो अब तक अगर कुल मिलाकर बात की जाए तो कुल 4 लोगों को सोनाली फोगाट का जो मर्डर का केस रजिस्टर्ड किया था, उस मामले में कुल 4 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया है गोवा पुलिस ने। एक सुधीर और सुखविंदर, जिन पर आरोप है कि फोर्सफुली ड्रग दिया गया था, जबकि ड्रग जिसने प्रोवाइड कराया था, जो होटल का वेटर था, उसको अरेस्ट किया गया है। जो रेस्टोरेंट ऑनर है उसको अरेस्ट किया गया है क्योंकि वहां से ड्रग की रिकवरी हुई और उस रेस्टोरेंट का सीसीटीवी भी फुटेज भी सबसे पहले इंडिया टुडे ने दिखाया था कि कैसे सोनाली फोगाट की हालत बिगड़ी। लेकिन जिस तरीके से गोवा पुलिस का क्लेम है, उसके बाद ये सबसे बड़ा एविडेंस है और मेगा एक्सक्लूसिव हम इसलिए इंडिया टुडे पर कर रहे हैं क्योंकि ये मौत के कुछ घंटों पहले का सीसीटीवी फुटेज है, जिसमें ये साफ दिखाई दे रहा है, जैसा गोवा पुलिस का क्लेम है कि बोतल में ड्रग मिलाई गई थी और वो ड्रग सोनाली फोगाट को दी गई थी। वो तस्वीर हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं। ये मौत के कुछ घंटों पहले का सीसीटीवी फुटेज है जिसमें सोनाली झूमती हुई दिखाई दे रही है। पार्टी वहां पर चल रही है, ये पूरी पार्टी का सीसीटीवी इमेज है और ये एक एविडेंस के तौर पर भी पेश करेगी जिस तरह का गोवा पुलिस का ये पूरा केस चल रहा है उस मामले में। तो क्रूशियल पीस ऑफ एविडेंस है और सोनाली फोगाट को लेकर जो 3 दिनों से चर्चा चल रही है उसमें ये मेगा एक्सक्लूसिव न्यूज़ हम इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि जो गोवा पुलिस ने क्लेम किया था कि फोर्सफुली ड्रग दिया गया था सोनाली फोगाट को एक बोतल में लिक्विड फॉर्म में जिसमें MDMA में खरीदा गया था, उस ड्रग पैडलर को भी गोवा पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है। तो ये इसमें साफ साफ सीसीटीवी फुटेज में ये दिखाई दे रहा है कि जो सोनाली फोगाट है उनको फोर्सफुली ड्रग दिया जा रहा है। उनकी इस वक्त भी बहुत हालत ठीक है नहीं और उसके बावजूद भी ड्रग दिया जा रहा है। सोनाली मना कर रही है, बावजूद भी बोतल से सुधीर उनको ड्रग देता हुआ इसमें दिखाई दे रहा है।
Right. Arvind, thank you so much for bringing us all of those details. Arvind Ojha, my colleague, bringing us that exclusive visual, that CCTV footage from inside Curly's restaurant in Goa where Sonali Phogat was. This is just from hours before her death, and you can see one of the accused over there, Sudhir, forcibly having her drink something which the police say was spiked. We're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned, news and updates will continue on the other side of this break.
Are watching India Today.
Where will the next 25 years take us? How can India achieve global leadership? The country's top policymakers: Nitin Gadkari, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Ashwini Vaishnav, R.K. Singh, Dharmendra Pradhan. The biggest names of corporate India: Sunil Bharti Mittal, C.P. Gurnani, Anant Maheshwari, Shoma Mandal, and Ganapathy Subramaniam at the Big Business Today India at 100 Economy Summit, Friday 26th of August, live on businesstoday.in.
Asked to go for India's biggest demolition. 32 floors, 1,000 flats, one big explosion. aim for Noida's illegal skyscrapers. Nine seconds is all it will take. We've got maximum cameras watching. "32 stories to piles of rubble." Unmissable, unparalleled coverage.
A very good evening. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. I'm right from the location of much curiosity. This is the Twin Tower, the Supertech Twin Tower that will be demolished tomorrow. It's not even 24 hours from now where this demolition will be taking place. 9 seconds, this massive tower will be gone. It's Asia's largest demolition drive is what we hear, at least for India. This is the first of its kind, which is why the kind of attention that this demolition drive is grabbing at this point. I'm right here at the location. I've spoken to a bunch of locals here, residences within the vicinity. Most of those locals there who have spoken to India Today say that they are slightly apprehensive on what this could lead to. This kind of demolition, will that mean debris will be flying into their homes? Will their property in their own houses be damaged? Will there be insurance? Will there be any kind of compensation? All of that asked right here on India Today. We're going to clear the air for you. In fact, let me take you through some big news coming in at this point as that we're tracking. A big breaking news that we are tracking at this point is that both the Twin Towers will be detonated simultaneously, but there will be a gap of barely 1 to 2 seconds between the two towers. India Today gets you the inside track. The biggest demolition that will take place on the 23rd of August on Sunday, 2:30 p.m. From what we hear is that the Supertech Twin Towers, both of them, Cayenne and Apex, these two towers will be detonated 2 seconds apart. First tower that will be detonated is the Cayenne Tower. The first tower, 29-story Cayenne Tower, which is a shorter tower, will be detonated first. And then the second, 32-story Apex Tower will be demolished next. So the difference between the two towers will be barely 1 to 2 seconds when the detonation will take place. It's in fact done strategically to ensure that the shorter building will go off first and then the taller. So Cayenne will be the building that will be demolished first, and then will be the second tower, the taller tower, 32-story Apex Tower that will come down next. But there will be hardly any difference between the two towers when it comes down, because 1 to 2 seconds will be barely noticeable. These are residences right beside. As we see, most of these buildings right next to the Supertech Twin Towers have been completely wrapped with these white sheets. They're really thick. In fact, no debris will be able to enter into these buildings. Air will enter, but no dust and no debris can enter through these white sheets. So Edifice, the company doing it, have done it quite with much precision and strategy to ensure that there is the least impact on the neighboring buildings while the demolition drive takes place. But with regards to both the towers being detonated simultaneously, Cayenne to be blown up first, and then the Apex Tower will be detonated second, barely 1 to 2 seconds. This is exactly what the South African engineer has spoken exclusively to India Today and told us. Let's take a listen. So not to panic, but will this be a simultaneous fall? Or will you detonate it simultaneously? Or is there a mechanism that you worked out for that?
Today between the buildings, Cayenne will start moving just a bit before Apex.
Cayenne will detonate first?
Yes, but only slightly.
But what's the gap?
0.15 seconds separate.
Barely noticeable.
Barely noticeable.
And in how long will the dust settle, and how long can people in the vicinity come back?
The dust depends very much on the wind. The heavier dust particles will settle out nearby and get cleaned up. The residents, the plan is to allow them back by 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So after the implosion, we'll do our safety checks around the building, and then cleanup will start, and then by 5 o'clock, people will start.
All safety. All right, now we know that there's barely 24 hours, in fact, not even 24 hours for the demolition to take place, and already residents in the neighboring buildings are all being evacuated. Most of them will be moved to community centers that have been set up in other neighboring buildings. So possibly for the first time that we see that locals or people who live in the neighboring buildings here are going to extend a helping hand to many of the local residences, have set up community centers here so that they can be moved to. So these twin towers, the illegally built super tech twin towers, will be down to dust tomorrow 2:30 p.m. in barely 9 seconds time. So ahead of the tower demolition, India Today has gotten you exclusive access to inside images of the twin tower. In fact, the one question that people might be asking is the stray dogs, many animals, even pets, how are they going to be protected from this this entire sound and the demolition drive, which clearly could cause panic among the pets and a few animals here. But that's been sorted. It appears RWAs have set up bunkers there. They've been dug up around many areas so that they could be rescued. In fact, residential buildings, all adjacent to the twin towers, have also been covered with sheets to prevent any kind of dust from entering those local buildings. Now, preparations on in full swing as two of these towers will be they are currently fully rigged. As I speak here, right at this moment, we see that this is a highly sensitive zone. It's fully charged, so no way that anyone can enter inside these two towers, because there's 3,700 kgs of explosives that have been layered in every floor, which just at a click of a button will go off. Once it's ready for detonation, that's tomorrow, this will go off simultaneously in 9 seconds. So on the day when this is carried out, we understand that at least 10 kilometers around the vicinity of this building, there's not a single soul that will be allowed. Let me quickly cut across to all those images coming in as an India Today exclusive, showing you how residents are being evacuated and all the VIP galleries set up for this massive demolition drive of one of its kind. This is Emerald Towers, the closest to the ATS building. You see there people literally covering their balconies with plastic, just to avoid any kind of debris flying into their homes. Most of Emerald Towers inside, residents there have covered their lawns and their windows, all completely wrapped so that there's no untoward incident. Basically, the property is not damaged. This is one of the households. I'm right inside here, where they've pulled down all their paintings. Most of it has been kept aside safely. Namaste ji. ये आपने रूम में पूरा सामान उतारा है? हाँ जी, पूरा सारा सामान उतार के सब नीचे रख दिया है जी. So that's the television there, all the gods paintings and all the wall hangings have been brought down. Yes. And that's the window there where it's fully taped. That's to avoid any kind of vibrations. This is situation in all rooms. People have literally brought down everything. This is also all the paintings here that have been kept on the bed, just to be safe. Well, clearly, residents have prepared themselves, but at the end of it, you never know what at max could happen in a situation. These are local residents who have been preparing for close to a month, is what we hear. Most of their glasses, they've taped it only to avoid any kind of vibration. But even though residents have taken all kinds of precautions, we know that the professional company, Edifice, who's doing this job, they say that there's really nothing to panic. In fact, there will not be any kind of impact beyond a few meters around the two towers. And at max, it's the sound and maybe some shattered glasses. But that's only the max. Dust will also settle at the earliest. So this is Emerald Towers right inside. People, residents fully prepared as they leave. They're going to be abandoning their homes. They're going to be leaving out of this space with their jewelry, documents, all their precious belongings. They're going to be out of this house and this locality at least for the next 24 hours. But they're just ensuring that their household is safe. Most of their belongings are kept wrapped and safe so that there's no impact that falls on it. This basically is the Emerald Court parking, where we see most of the vehicles have already been removed from these parking slots. And most of the residents are very worried that debris might just come from this area. This area right here is fully covered. In fact, it's completely sealed. And if this was open, this is exactly where the Astor Tower is, barely 9 meters away from here. But they've completely sealed this opening here. So the only worry that the Emerald Tower residents have is that will debris come through this basement? Will it flow into their building through this basement? But for now, there is it's fully sealed. If I could show you here with nails and pins, they've completely sealed this. This is a very thick material where air can pass, but no dust will pass through this. They've fully sealed this entire area here. This is the basement right next to the Twin Towers, and this Emerald car parking area would possibly be the most